Hey there, guys. How's it going? My name is Sumit Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy. Hey there, guys. How's it going? My name is Sumit Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. Today, I'm going to be speaking to you about 10 different ways in which you can beat the lockdown blues. You might feel isolated. You might feel like, oh man, I'm stuck inside. There's not much to do. Well, you're stuck inside, but you're also safe inside. You're feeling lonely, but you also have a lot of freedom. So it's important to, first of all, just start to lean towards the positive right now. I know it's tough. I know you've probably heard it a million times before, but it is going to be so, so crucial. Now, the first thing that I have for you is to create rather than consume. And this time we feel like consuming a lot, whether that's a lot of pandemic snacks, or we might feel like, listening to a lot of different things or watching a lot of podcasts or, watching Netflix. The kind of rule that I have is you want to be basically 80-20, okay? So basically you want to be creating 80% of the time and consuming 20% of the time. If you feel like, oh man, I want to listen to this awesome podcast, why not create an awesome podcast? If you feel like, oh man, I really want to, read this book, why not write a book? A lot of inventions were started from the times of like the plague, for instance. So this is a great time for you to actually make something and make something awesome. I mean, recession is the time where millionaires are built. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that should be your motivation to be a millionaire, obviously. Like, start to create something, start to make a new business, or start to really hone in on what you want to do for yourself right now. If you're an athlete and you're kind of used to like being an injury, I understand, like as a young athlete, you don't really know what to train or what your next event is or what you're preparing for. But still, it's like being able to create a pathway and start creating things for yourself, being an innovator, being a pioneer right now, using your creativity right now is more important than ever. You could be cooking, you could be drawing, you could be singing, you could be writing. Depression in Latin is deprimere, which means to push something down. The opposite of that, exprimere, which is to squeeze something out. So you want to express yourself in many different ways, in any way that you can. The next thing that I would say is create a very adaptable schedule for yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you wake up a little bit later or, you suddenly skip your gym time or whatever, but make it adaptable, right? What if you, let's say, miss your morning meditation? Do a little bit of a breath work, right? Just go for a cold shower. Have some replacements. So have lots of plan Bs. Have maybe plan B, C, D, E, okay? And if you miss out on one, you can always fall back on another one. But at least having some kind of a structure, some kind of a way that you track your habits throughout the day, it will give you a lot more freedom. Jocko Willink said, discipline is freedom, okay? It sounds counterproductive, sounds like a paradox, but it's so true. If you give yourself a structure, now you can be imaginative within that structure. If you have too much freedom, you don't know what to do with that freedom. Third thing that I would say is have a happy playlist, okay? Like, honestly, sometimes we're not even sad. We put ourselves into a sad state and we start listening to all these sad songs. Maybe you're listening to like Juice WRLD and you're feeling worse about yourself. Hey, I have nothing against that. I love certain kinds of music that makes me really feel the emotions. And at times, sometimes even watching sad movies or tragic movies can make you kind of reflect on your own life. Like, hey, my life isn't as bad. And it sort of gets you grateful. So I'm not denying them. I'm not pushing those things away for you. But I do want you to create a happy playlist for yourself. Songs that make you feel really, really good, have good vibes, generate a good mood within yourself. Now, one band that I can recommend right now is Surfaces. Now, if you haven't heard of Surfaces before, feel free to check them out. Also check out Spotify's Good Vibes playlist. I've been going back to that, and it's really, really powerful, and it gets you feeling really good, uplifted, really fast. It's important to be listening to certain kinds of music with lyrics that really, really make us feel good, okay? Because the lyrics unconsciously are going to be in the back of our mind too. Number 4 is stay active, okay? It's so simple. You've heard it so many times before. Stay active, exercise, do something, like whether that's Qigong, whether that's, yoga, stretching, jogging, any kind of random movements, dancing. Movement is medicine, okay? So you've got to be able to really do that. And, if you feel like you're sad or in a low mood or depressed, it is telling you like you need some deep rest, like from the character that you're playing, and you're not being the type of person that you truly wish to be. And so you're kind of stuck in this old pattern. I totally get that. And once you are there, once you're taking lots of naps, maybe you're just eating and watching stuff, if you find yourself going in that downward spiral, just be aware of it, right? Just notice like, oh wait, maybe I'm going to try something new, right? Because novelty is a flow state trigger. And if you start seeing new things in your environment, like even if you're renovating your space around or moving your furniture around, it's going to get you to be a lot more excited and ramped up. It's like, what new thing can I do today? What fascinating thing can I do? What can I do differently in my life right now? It's all about really like delving into that personal transformation. Okay. So the next thing is sunlight and supplements. Okay. So sunlight is really important for vitamin D, which also sunlight gets us that serotonin, okay? And it's really, really important. There have been a study in 2008 that said, 14% vitamin D levels were lower in depressed people. So it's really important that you get your vitamin D supplementation if you're not getting that sunlight, okay? Also, tryptophan and all these other things, like there's certain supplements out there that can really help you and be able to make you feel really good, okay? I'm not an expert in supplements, okay? I'm not going to tell you like what it is that you have to take, but I would say that generally, micronutrient deficiency is what gets us to feel very low mood, low energy, okay? So like take your multivitamins, man, deficient in, let's say you have less niacin in your system, then you can, work towards taking a lot more of that, okay? And working towards like eating the foods that give you more of those things, all right? So next thing I would definitely say is doing the kind of inner work in meditation. If you don't have a kind of inspiration booklet, I would definitely work towards getting one. What is that? I mean, collecting different quotes, different things that you enjoy. Who are you inspired by? Maybe even creating a vision board. Like I have a vision board, if you guys can see that like on the side. I see that every day, that just boosts me towards like doing things and like, getting a lot more motivated and fine-tuning towards a certain kind of personal energy and a personal frequency, okay? So that's really key, really important. Now, there are different types of meditation, so I'm not going to tell you which one is the right one for you, but just definitely look them up. And there are many kinds. You can even listen to a guided meditation online, but make it a daily practice, okay? Really start to get yourself to take the daily action so that you can level up in that. You'll be noticing that you're not going to be as reactive to things, okay? You're going to be very calm, and you're going to be much more centered. So that's the main great thing about meditation, is it makes you feel really centered and within, like you have a sense of control and emotional management and regulation within yourself, okay? And I know that being spiritual right now is trendy, so definitely don't do this if it doesn't resonate with you, similar to, when you're trying to manifest something and it's the same thing as prayer, you know what I mean? Like you're asking the universe to do something for you, and like you're getting real with yourself, and you're speaking to something that is beyond you. If you're an atheist, I completely get that. You can speak to the version of you in the future, something like that, right? Along those lines. So, it doesn't have to be this thing that is very spiritual. It can be just a thing that helps you create much more space in your life. So let's get really practical here in terms of how it can really help you, okay? And the next thing that I would say is Post-it notes. You see how many Post-it notes I have there and over there, okay? Like Post-it notes, I have Post-it notes everywhere, okay? So the thing is, why do I have Post-it notes? First of all, it's a subliminal hit, right? It's like, boom, I see it all the time. It's different places. I even have it on my mirror over there, okay? And just having that, these little messages, give yourself positive, uplifting messages on Post-it notes. And what I would also advise that you do is like bring them to the times where you're going outside. I know you're going outside less right now because you're isolated, but let's say you go to the grocery store. I would even like have little Post-it notes and like put them in like the frozen food section, for instance, or like, just on a random like chip packet. And people will see that and they'll be like, unconsciously, they'll also get that boost of momentum from those positive, uplifting messages. Things like, you're going to be okay. It's fine. This is all going to be over soon. You're safe. I love you. Stay positive. Keep smiling. These little messages, they're just tiny little messages, but honestly, they could possibly save someone's life, and honestly, they could possibly save your life too. So really, really, really fine-tune your post-it notes and be able to add little messages in your own space as well as the spaces that you go off to, because you want to be a radiant chameleon, right? I say internal chameleon, like you want to control the internal world from within, okay? Which means that if you feel happy inside, you're going to radiate that positivity outside. Find level-headed people, right? Find a level-headed tribe of people. Maybe you don't have friends like that. Well, it's time to start searching, all right? We can't, like, if we don't ask for something, we're not going to get it, okay? So first of all, like, you want to basically like ask around, like, hey, who's interested in this, or what, like, who's up to this today, right? And create Zoom meetings, join digital communities. There are lots out there, you just have to seek them out. There's lots of Facebook groups. There's lots of, different online programs that you can join to join masterminds. At least you'll have that, support of a community, in a sense that, okay, these people have my back. This is a sisterhood. This is a brotherhood. This is a group of people. This is a group of entrepreneurs. Whatever it is that you're doing, like when you have those group of people, you can fall back on that group and ask them for help, ask them for support. It's so important that we stay connected at this time. It's physical distancing. It's not social distancing, okay? So the thing is, like, when we say, oh, we're social distancing, it doesn't mean that we have to like stop being social. You know what I mean? Next, last, final thing that I would say is binaural beats. This has saved my life throughout high school and college and even university, all right? And it saved my life to this day, and I really believe in it. I wrote my master's thesis on this topic, and they just help so much. So what I will do is I will link one that's based on really powerfully helping you to break out of the negative patterns. I will also link one on depression and anxiety. And listen to this if you want, and that file isn't working for you, email me, flowzoneacademy@gmail.com, and I'll send you a lot more powerful one that is much more instantaneous for you. Having said that, I hope you have an incredible day. May the flow be with you, and stay legend.